In this lesson, we'll complete our facial animation warm-up. Here's where we add our last pass, applying our final touch-ups. We want to look for any areas that look a bit off and adjust those areas, and even add a few more poses if we need to, which we'll actually do to the eyes, okay, and a few more areas. So let's begin. We'll bring back our NURBS curves, and we'll go to our facial animation panel, and we'll scrub through our animation. We'll start from this beginning segment to see what we can adjust. And I think we can adjust the timing and spacing of the blinks, okay, so that they look more natural. So we'll select both blink controls, and let's now go to our perspective graph view, and we'll hit F in our graph so we can focus, okay, more on our entire F curve. And what we want to do is go to where our second blink is occurring on frame 14. We'll select that key. There are actually two keys from the left and right blink control, so we want to make sure we have both of them selected. And with this key selected on frame 14, we'll hit F so we can see the curve in more detail. Okay, and what we're going to do, the fix we're about to do, is similar to what we did in the first warm-up lesson. So we break the tangency, then we hit W on our keyboard just so we can go into one of our manipulators to be able to move our tangent handles around. And we'll select the left half of the tangent handle and middle mouse button, click and drag up now. And we'll adjust it like so. We'll do the same thing for the right side. Then we'll offset one of our blink controls slightly, like this left one for example, just so that the movement of our blinks are not entirely symmetrical, but they have some asymmetry to them. Okay, and again, that's to add to the natural movement of the blinks. Okay, let's now go back to our facial animation preset, and we'll scrub through our animation to see what else we can adjust. Let's select our jaw control. Let's see. Okay, let's adjust this here. Let's go to about frame 62, and we'll translate the jaw upward. Okay, and the reason why we want to do that is so we have some nice subtlety from frame 62 to 76. Okay, and we'll scrub through even more. Continue scrubbing, and let's also go to about frame 90, and we'll drop the jaw some. Again, just for a subtle movement, just like that, so we can get some more natural movements out of our character's face. And let's adjust the right and left smile frown controls. And what we're going to do is go to about frame 96, and we'll just drop the controls. We'll drop our character's mouth. So by the time we get to our extreme pose here, this happy expression on frame 107, the movement of our smile frown controls is a little bit faster. Rather than having a slow transition of what we had before with those controls, we sped it up a little bit. Again, to add a little bit more to our animation. Let's now do a play blast to see our adjustments. So we'll go to our perspective and load up our shot cam and hide our NURBS curves and do a play blast. And I'll just pause the video. And here's our play blast. Okay. So though those movements were subtle, they definitely added to what we had, added to more of the natural movement of the face. And we could even hit period on our number pad so we can view the face in more detail. Okay. Let's now continue with our adjustments. So we'll go ahead and close out this F check now. And what we're actually going to do is animate the eyes. And the way we're going to do this is, well, we can make it similar to one of those situations where, let's say we notice a certain object moving out of the corner of our eye, so we take a quick look and then look back where our focus was before, and then suddenly realize that we recognize that target and quickly bring our focus back to it. So that's how we're going to animate the eyes, so that when our commander here looks back at us, he's happy to see us. All right? Okay, we're going to give him somewhat of a surprise. So let's go to frame 83, and we'll key in the translate X and Y, just so we can have our eyes targeted from frame 73 to 83 here. Then we'll go about 3 frames after, and now have our commander's eyes looking at the target at the corner of his eye, and we'll have him focus on that for a few frames. So we'll middle mouse button click now on frame 89 and key in the translate X and Y. Okay, so now he's locked onto that target just for a little while. Then let's go 2 more frames after frame 89, so about frame 91, and we'll now have the character's eyes look back at what he was focused on before. And then on frame 94, he looks right back at us because he realizes, hey, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Okay. So when we scrub through, here's what we get. And let's now do a play blast to see what we've just done. Okay. So we'll hide the NURBS curves and kick off a play blast. And again, I'm just going to pause the video. And here's the play blast. Okay. Alright, so now our commander here is a little bit surprised to see us. Okay, he sees us at the corner of his eye and he's like, hey, how are you doing? Okay, how's it going? And the last adjustment we're going to make to this animation now is going to be on that last head turn. Okay, we're going to adjust a few tangents so that the movement of that last head turn matches with his last expression. So let's close out this F check, bring back the NURBS curves, and we can stay in our shot cam for now. What we're going to do is select the head control and then go to our perspective and graph editor view. And we'll be adjusting the rotate X and the rotate Z. So we'll start with the rotate X and hit F so we can frame the curve. And what we're going to do is have it so that his head dips down a little bit more, just to add to that, more to his surprise. Okay, so let's go to frame 99 and select the key on frame 99. And we'll now hold shift and middle mouse button click and drag up so we can just move in that direction. And we'll dip his head down a little bit more. Like that. And now let's go ahead and add that same, we're going to add that, not the same movement, but we will adjust the rotate Z now. So we'll go to that channel in our graph editor outliner, select the key, hold shift, middle mouse button, click and drag down now. So we can tilt his head a little bit to his left, like that. So when we scrub through, here's what we get. Okay, now he's like, hey, how you doing? Let's now do a final play blast. Okay, so we'll go to our perspective and we'll go to our shot cam, hide our curves, and do a play blast. And again, I'm going to pause the video. Here's the play blast. Okay, so we added a nice head turn there at the end to again add to the last expression of our character's face. And that's our final result. I do encourage you to even add more to this if you like, okay, to see what else you can do to really improve the animation. Okay, it also depends on what type of style you're going for. If you want to add something more cartoony, maybe you could really exaggerate the expressions a little bit more, or if you're going for more photoreal, just tweak accordingly so you can really get the character's face moving more believable, more lifelike. But we sure went through a ton of great material. We've discussed some fundamental principles of animation. Okay, we learned some really cool tips and techniques that can be applied to any of your characters. So in the next lesson, we'll actually get into the main project where we'll focus more on lip syncing and animating to dialogue.